Why are you Ace Boogie?
I'm Ace Boogie because I had to bet on myself to make a difference and to make sure I can create a way for my people. Ace Boogie I got from the movie Paid in Full.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies growing up, watched it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how the main character, he was a good kid until he got an opportunity, make some financial decisions for him and his family.
Yeah.
And he took the risk. So I'm doing that, taking the risk, paving the way for my people.
So you felt connected to a character in Paid in Full.
Yes.
And that's where you're like, man, like I'm inspired, so I want to go inspire other people.
Exactly.
See, that I feel like that's super powerful, man. Like you could have easily in your life said, I would much rather just do shit for myself. Like,
right.
Why do you feel like you want to inspire people? Like, why do you feel like that's part of your mission?
I don't know. I feel like because I get inspired by everybody around me. You know what I mean? That's what my team inspires me. I keep those around me to inspire because you are what you have around you. You know what I mean? And I think it's cool to inspire people because we got so much negativity in the world. Too many people giving up. So it's like, if I can help somebody just, hey, man, what you want to do? I want to do this. All right, let's make it. I'm Mr. Make It Happen. I'm going to do it for you. You know what I mean?
I witnessed that personally. I mean, you, Andrew, put on for us at one of the shows at the G Spot.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, like these guys don't owe me anything. They don't know me. This is the first time they met me. And they're not just me, but a lot of artists there. And you're like, man, like let's help people out.
Yeah.
Like, let's do that, man. Like, so walk me through like music, because I do want to talk about the EP, but walk me through like your musical journey. So you named yourself after the character in Paid in Full.
Yep.
When did you start making music?
Shoot, I was freestyling until I was like 16, until somebody really called me out. They're like, how you gonna be a rapper with no music out? And it's like, damn. So I started recording, I believe, at my own crib, and then I lived with the homie Drake. Shout out to my boy Drake. I lived with him, and he was like, yo, I want to see a song a day. And I was literally just...
A song a day?
Yeah, I'll go in there and freestyle a song. I'll write some things, but then I started getting better at writing. So, I started writing and recording at 16, so yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
16?
Yeah.
So, let me ask you this. One song a day, what did you find was, like, different between the freestyling and recording one song a day?
Freestyling, I can just sit there and try to do fly stuff, you know what I mean? Maybe I copy some bars that I used back in the last freestyles.
Yeah.
But writing a song a day, it made me learn concepts. Maybe that I had to make, like, the song needs to be about something. Like, you can't just sit there and just...
Like, you could.
You could, but I didn't feel like... I want substance. Like, I didn't want to even listen to my own songs. I would listen to it, but like, I'm not talking about nothing. Like, I'm rhyming tight, but it's like, I'm not talking about nothing. You know what I mean? So it taught me how to make substance and... actually had to put a song together, because freestyling and putting a song together is two different things. I didn't know about a hook or a bridge, none of this stuff.
Man.
You know what I mean? So
you know what's funny is like our stories are almost like reverse in the sense of like I don't freestyle, and it's not that I'm not going to sit here in front. Yeah. I can't freestyle because I am a writer. So like growing up, when I used to tell people I'm a rapper, I rap. Everyone goes, okay, well then freestyle, and then once you can't, it's like, oh, whatever. See, right?
Yeah.
So I changed to like, I'm a hip hop artist, but I'm a writer first. Right. Now, does that imply that I can't freestyle? No.
No,
like,
of course.
I'm more open about it, because the same thing you said, like, to me, I feel like I'm so naturally gravitated to like, what am I saying? So when you started doing the song a day and the whole concept thing, how many songs in or how many days into your
life? Dude, I got at least like, I want to say I got to like 6 or 7. And then like when I tried to do 8, I just was like, I don't know what to even do right now. Yeah. I tapped out. I'm not going to lie. But then I also challenged myself, like when I was in Merced, when I first met Drew and him, I wanted to do 52 weeks. That's a song a week for a year.
Yeah. 52 songs.
That shit's hard even then. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I like to challenge myself, but it's like, it's cool to create a process. I love creating in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean?
Right. And so the whole conceptual thing, I could tell by the name of the EP, Karma Needs a Road, right? What do you feel like was that once you started like substance writing, what do you feel like was driving your lyrics in the beginning?
In the beginning, not to sound like cliche, but like as an artist, pain. I was going through a lot. So it was my way of expressing myself, because like there's a difference between Ace Boogie and then there's Brendan, you know what I mean? And like Ace Boogie's going to tell it how it is and tell the story. Brendan's more of like the the person, you got to be around people. You got to be strong for your people. You can't be sensitive. You can't be taking things personal. But Ace Boogie's I'm an artist. I'm emotional sometimes, so I'm gonna let it out through this personality I made. You know what I mean?
I love that, man, because like, so my real name is Marco, and I often say like, August is like not a person but an idea, like a concept, and like it also the messenger. Yeah. Right. Where Marco is the guy who's like experiencing life, like has all the emotions. August takes that substance and puts it into music. You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful, man.
Tell me about Karma Needs a Road. Like,
okay, Karma Needs a Road. 4 tracks.
4 tracks.
It was hard for me to get like the recording process was pretty dope, but it was hard to get deep and personal. But I needed after Karma Needs a Road. I'm originally from LA. I was born in Whittier. You know what I mean? So then my pops was in Inglewood with my grandma. So I was in and out of LA, you know what I mean? And then my mom's in Orange County, you know what I mean? So moving back and forth. But Karma Needs a Road was where I was born. And that's where a lot of my stuff came from. I was going to downtown Whittier to rap for my first time, do my shows. But it was cool to actually just talk about things. Like I got my mom on it. On the end of it, it's really personal, you know what I mean? She's just talking about some things. I got my boy Aztec, shout out Aztec. He's narrating everything. Dovetown Rob edited and mastered it. A lot of production I got from different producers, but it's just a personal little story. It's a short story, you know what I mean? And I just wanted to get personal for once. Cause
what is the story overall? I know we don't want to spoil it for people.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
It's just about the lessons I learned through karma. You know what I mean? I felt like I grown a lot because of all the things I went through instead of like taking it and becoming like, you know, an asshole. Well, I can be an asshole. But no, I just learned lessons through it. Like I'm talking about my pride. I'm talking about my ego. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about going from nothing to something, not being content with life. You know what I mean? So I'm really excited. And I got a song with Drew on there, and I got a song with my boy Mage. Shout out Slow Burn Crew. It's just cool. I got a real personal project, and it was hard, man. Like I was recording one song. I recorded, I almost cried, man. I was like, dang, dude. Like
what was? I appreciate the vulnerability. Yeah. What was the moment? Was there a lyric, a song?
I was talking about my mom. I was talking about my mom, man, because my mom raised me. I was raised around my mom, and my pops was there too. But it's like my mom was mostly there. You know what I mean? My pops is a hustler, DJ. You know, he's doing his own thing, but raised around the women. You know what I mean? So I would learn about the divine feminine and all this stuff, but just becoming a man now, like I'm thinking back to like just rapping the lyrics and like when I was homeless and stuff like that, man. Like
homeless.
Yeah, man, that shit sucks, man. Yeah, I went through that for a little bit, you know.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that. What I don't want to say walk me through.
No, of course not.
Like, but what was it? Tell the people, like what was that like?
It's just like, man, I was being a shitty person to my family, lashing out because of my own pain. And me and my mom got into it, and like, you know, I had to get out. You know what I mean? She said, you got to get out. You know, I got other options, but got out, slept in my car. I was hustling. I was in LA a lot. I was moving things. You know what I mean? Just trying to survive. That's it. You know, just trying to survive. But doing what I have to do, but then I got robbed. Robbed at gunpoint. Shit scared the shit out of me.
Damn.
Called my boy Bam Bam. Shout out Bam. He was living in Merced. Went to Merced. And then, yeah, man, like, yeah, it was just a weird time for me, man.
It is a weird time.
You know what I mean?
And here you are, man. Like, what I think is crazy is like, because again, I met you at the show, the G Spot, and which, by the way, pause. I feel like I gotta say pause when I say I met you at the G Spot. I don't know. I shouldn't. But
this is the precaution. This is a precaution pause.
I just gotta be careful. But like, nah, y'all had so much shit going on. There was a boxing event and a performance. Yeah, you know, I remember telling someone at Denny's, we went to Denny's after, I was like, yo, I don't care if there were only 5 people tuned into my set. That's gotta be up there with the greatest first show like stories of like all time.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like people are like, yeah, I performed at a bar, I performed at this. It's like, bro, I performed at a boxing event.
Yeah, dude.
You know? One dude walked around with the shirt off like, yo, who wants this fade? Right? And I remember thinking to myself like, yo, people were just in the audience like, yo, me? Like, I will please have some of that fade.
One fade, please.
One fade, please. What was your first performance?
First performance?
Mine was at a boxing event.
Rapping my first performance. I was featured on a show with my buddy in LA. He did a show. Shout out Shaka D. He did a show, and I choked. I choked on stage.
What?
Forgot my whole verse, everything. Yeah.
What did you do? Did you walk off or?
No, I just laughed it off and just turned up and pretended it didn't
happen. Well, I mean, hey, bro, it's funny because like I I think I met like an up and coming comedian or something. And I was like, bro, I give you props. Yeah. Right. Because if I fuck up like a line or something, the beat is going to continue. Yeah. The song's going to continue. Of course, yeah. Right. At the very least, like I said, there's a beat in the background where it's like, okay, this has rhythm by itself, so I just got to play it off. Yeah. If you fuck up a joke, we all got to sit there in silence and feel and if that. If it doesn't hit,
it's just hear the silence is so loud.
It's so bad, bro. It's so bad, man. Yeah, man. So I'm glad you were able to walk through that. How do you feel like your performance is now?
Oh, dude, I'm kind of confident in my shows. The only time I really messed up is like songs I haven't done in a while. Like I have certain songs that I'm like, I'm performing this. Other songs is like, I want to perform this, but I don't remember it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So now it's like, I have a problem listening to my own music. I feel weird when I'm listening to my own music. People walk in, they're like, what you doing? What you doing?
That's great. I feel that, bro. All right, we're gonna move into the last section, or second last section, honesty hour. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions. Need you to be 100% honest. Okay. What is your most slept on song? Not on the EP, because the EP has it.
Yeah. Stunt.
Stunt?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it your most slept on song?
I didn't push it as hard as I was in Texas. I wasn't around to like really push it like musically with the homies, and I was like focused on being a dad at that time. But yeah, one of my slept on songs. Stunt.
One of your most slept on songs? Okay, got you. Who's your dream collaboration?
Pharrell Williams.
Pharrell Williams, that's a name right there.
Pharrell, I want him to produce and get a
yeah. I was gonna say they do want him like actually on the track.
Yeah, okay. Him or Tyler. Yeah, those are like
If you had to use a Pharrell track, as I should ask Drew this question. If you had to use a Pharrell track as like a baseline for what you think your collab would sound like, what would it sound like? What would you want it to sound like?
There's a song with him, 21 Savage and Tyler. What is it called?
Oh man,
I can't think of it.
I the name escapes me, but that shit is hard. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I just like the big bassy sound from him, or Rockstar from NRD from Nerd Days.
That was
good. I like Rockstar. I'm doing a mixtape series. There's this group, a duo called Paris, Texas. Black guys that do rock and hip hop. You know what I mean? They got the song called Girls Love Drugs. I would want it to be like that. It's like very nerdy. It's like nerd type beat. It's like Rockstar. Like that's what I was raised off of. Like I was raised off Pharrell, Dr. Dre. I was raised off of fucking. My mom put me on Gwen Stefani, fucking Mariah Carey, like pop and rock and rap. That's all I really be listening to.
Fair enough. All right. Third question might be the hardest one. Okay, I'm making up a whole new one right here on the spot.
Oh, shit.
What do you feel like the game is missing? Authenticity.
Everybody's doing this thing called clout chasing. Everybody wants a quick check. Like, you're fucking it up for the real artist that has something that the game hasn't heard before. We got like 3 sounding artists right now. And when it comes to rap and hip hop, I felt like last year the women really ran the whole thing besides the Kendrick and Lamar and Drake thing.
Right.
We just need the authenticity back, the fun back. Everybody's scared to take a chance and just be different. So just...
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
You know, not to get into like the beef shit at all in terms of like picking sides or whatever. Obviously, I have my bias, but like, I feel like the game needed that in the sense of like it was exciting again. Yeah, we were waiting for something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And we weren't waiting for it just because they were the 2 biggest stars in the world, right? No. We were waiting for it because if you've been following their story. Like, this has been brewing for 10 years. There is a story.
There's a whole story.
Right? So, like, I feel like what the game, like you say, it's not just authenticity, but authenticity in your story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody's a gangster now.
And I don't even understand that. If you want to put like a bar like, oh, I'll knock your bitch ass out, like that's cool.
That's fine. Yeah.
That's cool. But then like you're carrying yourself like that in person. It's like we know you're not like that. Or let's say you are like that. You gotta do a much better job at selling it.
That's
you know
what I'm saying. That's what I'm always like, dude. Like I'll talk my shit and have fun, but I'm a pretty nice guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm pretty cool with everybody. Yeah. No beef with nobody. I'm here just chilling.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that tough guy stuff is. That's what I don't like. It's too much tough guy stuff. I miss the fun. Like that's why I love Mac. I love Mac Miller. I love Tyler. I love Kendrick because it's like just be yourself, have fun. Let's turn up. You know,
100%. Yeah. And my final question for you is: do you feel like nobody's listening?
No, somebody's always listening, but it depends on who's talking.
Oh, that's a bar right there.
Yeah,
I know you was rapping right now. So when you're talking, who do you feel like is it like who is your ideal audience? If I could, I know it's a weird question, but
I would probably.
Like, is it people who are struggling in life? Is it people who?
It would be the people struggling, and then the people who just grew up I always say it all the time. People grew up in the hood. Like,
yeah,
you know, I make music that you can relate to if you came from the hood. Because I don't do the rap rich shit like got a Ferrari and not like nah. Man, I ain't talking about that shit. And I still wear pro clubs and go outside with the homies. You know what I mean?
We outside.
We outside. Yeah. So I just make it for my people. You know what I mean? My culture, the hip hop culture. The people that just know what it is outside, you know, like you said, hip hop started in the Bronx and shit. So it's like I'm making it for people like that really know, yo, this is hip hop right here. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man. Yeah. I appreciate you, Ace.
Tell
the people where they can follow you at.
Ace Boogie Raps, AceBoogie Raps with a SRAPS on everything: YouTube, IG, Twitter, Twitch, everything. I got it solidly. I'm making that my shit. Karma Needs a Road, 4-track EP. Please check it out. Appreciate everyone that's been coming to the G-Spot. G-Spot's open Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Any artists want to come through, please come through. Thank you, August. Appreciate you, brother.
Of course, bro. Hey, remember, when you think nobody's listening, somebody is.